Hello and welcome to Quiz Time. I'm Jess, and today I have a trivia quiz for you. So, 100 questions. Are you ready? Let's go. Which unique colour was historically produced from sea snails in history? Carmine, cerulean, or Tyrian purple? Tyrian purple. In many East Asian cultures, what colour represents mourning? Blue, white, or black? It's white. Which pigment was named after an expensive gemstone and was developed in the 1700s? Ultramarine, emerald green, or amethyst purple? Ultramarine. How are you doing on colours? What is the colour of courage in heraldry? Red, gold, or green? It's red. Due to its rarity in nature, what colour was utilised as a warning signal? Red, purple, or orange? That's red. What is the name for colours that the human eye is unable to perceive? Infrared colours, invisible colours, or impossible colours? Infrared colours. According to Hinduism, what colour is connected to truth and purity? Blue, white, or orange? It's white. What kind of material was used historically to make mummy brown? Burnt bones, clay and soil, or ground up mummies? Ground up mummies. Which colour was connected to fertility and rebirth in ancient Egyptian culture? Blue, gold, or green? Green. In Renaissance paintings, what colour stands for dishonesty? Green, violet, or yellow? Yellow. Which colour is usually connected with wealth and authority in Japan? Gold, white, or purple? Purple. Still on colours, the vivid pigment known as vermilion is produced by this rare mineral. Cinnabar, hematite, or malachite? Cinnabar. While trying to make a red pigment, which colour was unintentionally discovered? Orange, emerald green, or Prussian blue? Prussian blue. In which culture did yellow represent emperors and authority? Chinese, Egyptian, or Persian? The Chinese. Which colour do newborns see for the first time? Red, black, or white? It's red. Which country perceives blue as a colour of mourning? Iran, Mexico, or South Korea? It's Iran. What is the cultural meaning of the colour saffron in India? Peace, courage, or holiness? It's holiness. Which main colour was the patented shade known as International Klein Blue? Blue, green, or yellow? Of course, blue. No trick questions here. What do brides in Western weddings typically wear, or why do they typically wear white? To symbolise purity, to match the groom's attire, or to stand out from the guests? To symbolise purity. What kind of family characteristic is meant by the term black sheep? A beloved family member, a wealthy family member, or a rebellious family member? A rebellious family member. Which colour was connected to the rain god in Aztec mythology? Blue, green, or yellow? That's blue. Which of the following colours represents enlightenment and transformation in alchemy? Gold, silver, or white? It's gold. What colour was Napoleon Bonaparte's favourite, used in many of his military uniforms? Red, green, or black? It was green. From the cochineal insect, what colour pigment is extracted? Purple, carmine, or crimson? It's carmine. Before green, what colour was originally connected to St. Patrick's Day? Blue, white, or yellow? Blue. Which author predicted the Titanic disaster in The Wreck of the Titan? Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, or Morgan Robertson? Morgan Robertson. The names of secretaries for both John F. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln are associated with each other. Who among the following was Lincoln's secretary? John Hay, John Nicolay, or Robert Todd Lincoln? John Nicolay. What was the name of the ship in Morgan Robertson's 1898 novel that resembled the Titanic? The Titan, Gigantic, or Leviathan? The Titan. Were you paying attention to the question previous? Should have got that one. On the same day as the Great Fire of London in 1666, whose historical figure which was born? Charles II, John Locke, or Samuel Pepys? Samuel Pepys. What celestial event did Mark Twain reportedly prophesy would coincide with his death? Halley's Comet, the supermoon, or the solar eclipse? Halley's Comet. Which American president's son survived a second attempt on his life after witnessing his father's murder? John F. Kennedy Jr., Abraham Lincoln Jr., or Theodore Roosevelt Jr.? Theodore Roosevelt Jr. Where did the first car accident in the United States occur? Ohio, New York, or Michigan? It was Ohio. Which popular author and inventor owned patents for gadgets that looked like contemporary audiobooks? Mark Twain, H.G. Wells, or Thomas Edison? Thomas Edison. Coincidentally, a twin brother died on the same way after being hit by the same car. Which country did this take place in? Finland, Norway, or Sweden? It was Finland. The deathbed composition of which popular composer matched the theme he was working on exactly? Franz Schubert, Ludwig van Beethoven, or Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. What shipwreck did Edgar Allan Poe write a novel about that closely resembled the actual one? The Titanic, the Essex, or the Marie Celeste? The Essex. In addition to the Titanic, who survived the Britannic's sinking? Harold Bride, Violet Jessop, or Margaret Brown? Violet Jessop. Which prominent aviator was incorrectly proclaimed dead years before his death in 1920 by a Chicago newspaper? Willie Post, Amelia Earhart, or Charles Lindbergh? Charles Lindbergh. Which famous conqueror passed away in the same month and on the same day as his birth? Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, or Alexander the Great? Alexander the Great. Just months before he passed away, which artist sold his work? Red Vineyard, Claude Monet, Pablo Picasso, or Vincent van Gogh? Vincent van Gogh. Which Olympic athlete lost one of their shoes in an incident but still managed to win gold? Michael Phelps, Wilma Rudolph, or Dave Wattle? Dave Wattle. Which soldier survived 4 near-death encounters during World War I as a result of strange coincidences? Alvin York, Henry Tandy, or Private Sidney Lewis? Private Sidney Lewis. Where were the world's first colour and lighting photographs taken? Vienna, London, or New York? London. Which man survived an atomic bombing only to die in another? Kenji Nakagawa, Hiroshi Kawamura, or the third one? Sorry, awful names pronounce. I'm sure you could do better. It was the last one, Yamaguchi. Which king lost his life after falling from the same horse he had used to mount in a well-known battle? Edward I, Richard III, or Henry VIII? Richard III. Ironically, the man who gave the term sandwich its name didn't like what? Bread, lunch, or gambling? He didn't like bread, the Earl of Sandwich. Throughout his life, which legendary actor managed to survive several plane crashes? John Wayne, Harrison Ford, or Steve McQueen? Harrison Ford. Whose birthday coincided with the assassination of their historical counterpart, John Wilkes Booth? John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, or Martin Luther King Jr.? Abraham Lincoln. Which city's historical significance and symbolic beauty allowed it to be spared during World War II? Kyoto, Vienna, or Florence? Kyoto. Which of the following accidental discoveries led to the creation of Post-it notes? Velcro, microwave oven, or pressure-sensitive adhesive? Pressure-sensitive adhesive. Like I said, no trick questions here. In what ancient culture did people think that dreams were divine messages? Ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, or ancient Greece? Ancient Egypt. What term best characterizes the conscious state that occurs during a dream? Hypnagogic, lucid dream, or sleepwalking? Lucid dream. What did Freud mean when he called dreams a royal road of psychoanalysis? Unconsciousness, subconsciousness, or consciousness? Unconsciousness. What is said to have been Abraham Lincoln's recurrent nightmare prior to his assassination? Drowning in a river, a figure in a coffin, or a storm destroying the White House? A figure in a coffin. Which stage of sleep is most frequently linked to vivid dreams? REM, alpha, or NREM? It's REM, or rapid eye movement sleep. What is meant by the word wanirophobia? Fear of sleep, fear of dreams, or fear of nightmares? Fear of dreams. The interpretation of dreams was written by which prominent dream researcher? Carl Jung, Alfred Adler, or Sigmund Freud? Sigmund Freud. How are you doing on our sleep and dreams category? What is the most prevalent topic in nightmares across the world? Falling, being chased, or your teeth falling out? Being chased. What was used to create prophetic dreams in ancient Egypt by placing it beneath the pillow, a dream book, a sacred amulet, or a piece of quartz. A sacred amulet. Which hormone is recognized for controlling dreams and sleep cycles? Dopamine, melatonin, or serotonin? Melatonin. What is the term for the condition where one cannot speak or move during a nightmare? Hypnosis, paralysis, or sleep paralysis? Sleep paralysis. Which ancient Chinese literature examines dreams as real-world reflections? Zhuangzi, Tai Te Ching, or the Book of Changes? Zhuangzi. What is commonly symbolized in dream interpretation by a recurrent dream about falling? Fear of failure, desire for control, or anxiety about change? Fear of failure. What do you call a situation in which a dreamer thinks they have woken up but is still dreaming? Lucid dreaming, sleep paralysis, or false awakening? False awakening. Who is credited with having a famous dream about the chemical structure of benzene? Albert Einstein, Dmitri Mendeleev, or Friedrich August Kikulé? Friedrich August Kikulé. Which mythical creature is believed to cause nightmares by sitting on the chests of sleepers? Banshee, incubus, or chupacabra? Incubus. What does the scientific study of oneirology refer to? The study of sleep, the study of dreams, or the study of nightmares? The study of dreams. Which term does Jungian psychology use to describe recurrent themes or symbols in dreams? Shadows, projections, or archetypes? Archetypes. What mythical object in Greek mythology causes endless sleep and dream states? The river Lethe, the golden apple, or the lotus eater's flowers? The lotus eater's flowers. Which Greek god is often associated with dreams and sleep? Zeus, Apollo, or Hypnos? It's Hypnos. In what common dream does a person try to scream but fail to make any sound? Muteness, voice paralysis, or sleep paralysis? Sleep paralysis. What is the term for when noises from outside the dream are incorporated into the dream? Dream incorporation, external stimuli integration, or hypnagogic hallucinations? Dream incorporation. According to some researchers, what colour rarely appears in dreams? Red, blue, or green? Blue. Which cultural group believed sleeping with the head turned towards the north could result in nightmares? Ancient Chinese, ancient Egyptians, or Native American tribes? Ancient Chinese. What was put beneath a child's pillow in medieval Europe in order to avoid nightmares? A small stone, a piece of amber, or a sprig of rosemary? A sprig of rosemary. Whose final words was, "I have offended God and mankind because of my work and did not reach the quality it should have"? Michelangelo, Vincent van Gogh, or Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart? Vincent van Gogh. Who allegedly said, "I am about to die" or "I am going to die"? Either expression is correct. Molière, Voltaire, or Descartes? Voltaire. What about this new category? This better for you? After stepping on the foot of her executioner, what were Marie Antoinette's final words that were recorded? "Forgive me," "Pardon me," or "My apologies"? Pardon me. Which US president's last words were, "The taste is not good," after being offered milk? Franklin Pierce, Zachary Taylor, or Abraham Lincoln? Zachary Taylor. More last words. What were Karl Marx's final words when asked for a message? "Let the revolution begin," "Workers of the world unite," or "Go on, get out. Last words are for fools who haven't said enough." Go on, get out. Last words are for fools who haven't said enough. Whose last words were, "Don't disturb my circles," as he faced death? Socrates, Archimedes, or Pythagoras? Archimedes. Who's famously declared, "I should never have switched from Scotch to Martinis"? Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, or Humphrey Bogart? Humphrey Bogart. What were the last words of Pancho Villa? "Don't let it end like this. Tell them I said, Viva la revolution, I fought for freedom," or something important? Something important. Who said, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country"? Nathan Hale, Patrick Henry, or Benedict Arnold? Nathan Hale. More last words. Whose composer's final request was, "Play the E string on my violin"? Niccolo Paganini, Ludwig van Beethoven, or Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart? Niccolo Paganini. Whose last words were, "Et tu, brute," during an assassination? Cicero, Julius Caesar, or Marcus Aurelius? Of course, famously Julius Caesar. Who reportedly said, "Why do you weep? Did you think I was immortal"? Louis XVI, Napoleon, or Charlie Mong? Sorry, it was Louis XIV. My Roman numerals bad. What were Emily Dickinson's final words? "I must go for it. Go in for. I am not afraid, the fog is rising, or I have lived a full life. I have lived a full life. Who said, I am still learning, on their deathbed? Galileo, Newton, or Michelangelo? Michelangelo. Who's believed to have said, let us cross over the river and rest under the shade of the trees? Ulysses S. Grant, Abraham Lincoln, or Thomas Jackson? Thomas Jackson. Whose enigmatic last words were, I see black light? Victor Hugo, Albert Einstein, or Edgar Allan Poe? Victor Hugo. Who ended with the phrase, last words are for fools who haven't said enough? Karl Marx, Oscar Wilde, or Friedrich Nietzsche? Karl Marx. What were Elvis Presley's final known words? I'm going to the room, studio, or bathroom? Going to the bathroom. What were Winston Churchill's last recorded words? I'm bored with living, history, or everything? I'm bored with everything. Which painter's final words were, the sadness will last forever? Claude Monet, Pablo Picasso, or Vincent van Gogh? Vincent van Gogh. Who said, I die a king's good servant, but God's first? Thomas More, King Henry VIII, or Thomas Becket? Thomas More. Whose alleged last words were, either the wallpaper goes or I do? Oscar Wilde, Mark Twain, or Vincent van Gogh? That was Oscar Wilde. What explorer's last words were, I am just going outside and I may be some time? Lawrence Oates, Ernest Shackleton, or Robert Falcon Scott? Lawrence Oates. Who is said to have whispered, code is broken? Alan Turing, Claude Shannon, or John von Neumann? Alan Turing. And your last one. Which inventor's last words were, this is the last experiment? Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison, or Alexander Graham Bell? Thomas Edison. So, how did you do today? Drop your score in the comments below and please like and subscribe so you get notified every time we post a new quiz. And join us next time on Quiz Time.